Hello, European Confessions. So I am back with another message. Let us get straight into the message of the day. The message that I am going to share with you comes from a translation, and the message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi. I also have my own confession that I want to share with you. First of all, let me start by saying that I want to confess that I have had 2 abortions so far. The first abortion that I did, I had it when I was only 17 years old. The pregnancy that I aborted at that time was that of my brother. Then I had the second pregnancy. When I fell pregnant again, I aborted that pregnancy again. It was after when I had realized that this pregnancy that I was carrying, the child belonged to my brother. And at that time, I was already married, so I had no choice. I just had to abort that baby. As for my husband was a married man. He had been married before. So from the day that we started having sexual intercourse without using any condoms at all, I saw that he wrote down the dates. When I saw the dates that were written down by my husband, when I looked at those dates, plus calculating the weeks that I were told at the scan, I realized that the dates were not matching with the dates that I started having sexual intercourse with my husband. And I saw that this pregnancy was not of my husband, but the baby would belong to my brother. And I just had to abort that pregnancy. Going back in the past, me and my brother all along, we had been having sexual intercourse without using any condoms at all. But I was so strict about using family planning. When I got married, I couldn't go straight away to my husband's house because my brother kept on begging me, saying to me, "Sister, you can't leave so soon. You can't leave me like this. At least let us do it one more time." So I stayed. I stayed at home having sexual intercourse with my brother for about 2 months. After 2 months, that is when I went to my husband's house. When I arrived at my husband's house, I saw that there was something wrong with me. I saw that things were already bad. I was pregnant, but I couldn't tell my husband that I was pregnant because I knew that he had written the dates and I suspected that this pregnancy was not his. So I stole some money from the house. Then I went and I paid a visit at a private doctor. That doctor then performed a scan on me and he told me that I was 3.5 months pregnant. When the doctor told me that I was 3.5 months pregnant, I calculated the dates and I saw that the dates that the doctor had told me exactly corresponded with the dates that I had had sexual intercourse with my brother. After that, I went straight from the doctor's office and I went to another shop. There, I bought abortion pills and I drank them. On that night, the pregnancy ended. Lucky enough, my husband had gone out to a braai with his other friends. On that day, I didn't even bother to call him or to ask him what time he will be coming back home. My husband came back the very next day, but I didn't even ask him why he didn't come back home in time. Even though I had an abortion, but now what happens to me is that sometimes I feel so guilty. Because what happened on that night when I had an abortion is that when the baby was coming out, I started to feel some pains. So I just went into the toilet. Then I just sat there on the toilet seat. All of a sudden, my child just fell straight into the toilet. He was not yet fully human. There was a lot of blood when he came out. My baby was just surrounded by blood. So I tried to flush the baby away, but it was only the blood that went away when I tried to flush, but the child refused to be flushed. My brother, I was afraid to touch that baby with my own hands. So what I did is that I went outside, then I took some sticks. I used some sticks to pull out the baby from the toilet. Then I put that baby into a plastic bag. Then I went outside. Then I threw my baby into the sewage drain. I don't know, maybe it was just the guilt knowing that I did an abortion. Then I just threw my baby into the sewage drain. Maybe I was just afraid that maybe one day my husband will open that sewage drain, then he will find out that there was a baby in there. One day I just went into town, then I went into this shop. I asked around, but I didn't tell them what were my motives. I just asked for something that I can pour into that sewage drain. Whilst I was in that shop, I was shown a 5-liter bottle, and I was told that inside that bottle there was some acid that I can use for my troublesome sewage drain. So I bought that 5-liter container, then I returned home. When I returned home, I took that 5-liter container and I poured all of the contents that was inside that container into the sewage drain. But there are so many times that when I look at that sewage drain, I feel so guilty with all the things that I did. I cannot even look at myself because I know what I did. I am a sinner and I have sinned before God. But I just want to thank God, thanking God that He did not close my womb. God was faithful enough not to close my womb, because still I was able to give my husband children. But now the problem that I am having is that my brother is now my problem, because he keeps on texting me. Each and every time when he texts me, he keep on asking me to do it for the last time. I also want to do it for the last time, and my flesh wants my brother. But now I see that what we have done, me and my brother, it is not right. Even though I feel it is wrong, but deep down there is this feeling. I still have feelings from my brother. My brother and I, the reason why we started dating, it was because we just grew up together. It was only the two of us. Our mom was just a single mother, and we only had one room. Most of the time, our mom was not around. She would go around trying to make sure that we had food on the table. We only had one room, and we would sleep in the same bed, me and my brother. So growing up, when we would go to bed, whenever we were in bed, on my skin against my body, I could feel that my brother's manhood would be so hard against my body. This kept on happening each and every night until my body started to give in. Whenever I would feel that my brother's manhood was so hard against my body, I would respond. We became so intimate. We did it. So my mom came back home. She didn't suspect anything. Then she left us with a phone. She told us that with this phone, we should use that phone to talk with her whenever she was not around. But what me and my brother did is that we went on the internet, we downloaded some adult videos on that phone. Each and every night, when me and my brother would go to bed, we'll start to watch those videos. Then we'll do each and everything that we'll see in those videos until I fell pregnant. Now that my brother is married, he is a married man, and I am also married. But the problem is that I am stuck. In my heart, I tell myself that this is not good, but my heart keeps on fighting with me. My flesh just keeps on giving in. My flesh tells me that I want my brother. My brother and your listeners, can you please help me to remove this thorn that is in my flesh? Because on my own, I have tried to remove these feelings from my brother, but I have failed. Dear listeners, that was a message that I received from Anonymous. I know that this is very wrong, but please let us try to assist her in the comment section. I'll be back with more messages.